Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got two games for you, both in Soulstorm, with the first game being a 1 vs 1 on Fatima. Playing as Dark Eldar, we've got eZlNubz, and playing as the Sisters of Battle, we have got Heather. Heather will be opening with double missionaries, a pristine sanctuary, and a Adeptus Sororitas convent, whereas the Dark Eldar are going to go for double mandrakes, a dark foundry, and a plasma generator. So both of these games were sent to us via the Discords. Please do have a look at the links in the description. If there are some games that you like and you would want to have casted on this channel, I'm always looking for games to be sent to me, as it saves me a hell of a lot of time in the video creation process. But yeah, Sisters versus Dark Eldar. I have it on good authority that this is one of the rarest matchups you could possibly find, as obviously the Sisters and the Dark Eldar are, from what I understand, looking at the stats, I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but I think that they're the two least played factions in general. So we're seeing a Dark Foundry, so potential for some Hellions going around and grabbing some stuff. And we're going to see the double surfing opening with the deleted Sanctuary, Pristine Sanctuary Medufa Medarded, or whatever terminology you want to use for that. So yeah, so lots of mobility in this game, I imagine. You normally only see one Hellion squad, and the Hellions against double Seraphins might not be able to do all that much, but they'll certainly at least to be able to keep these girls on the move. But these ladies are able to fire and move at the exact same time, and especially firing backwards, that's a major bonus for the Seraphins, so we'll have to see how that goes on. Mandrakes will really struggle with the Seraphins on account of them only having little stabbers, and the stabbers are quite short range on account of, well, being a melee weapon. These ladies are going to just jump straight over and do some decapping. These girls aren't amazing at doing building damage, so they're essentially, their main worth is battering down the strategic points, and also finding the torch slaves are maybe doing some builder harassment. But the Harlequins, not the Harlequins, the Hellions are going to completely ignore them entirely and come straight over here. Same with the Mandrakes, and I suppose this one way to force the Seraphins to stay back at home. If you're being quite aggressive, then these ladies can't exactly do as much harassment as they want to do. And Dark Eldar, they've got the advantage of, oh, well, if you kill the builder, don't worry, because if he's already set his buildings up, they auto-build anyway, so it's not a huge major problem for them. Also, that homunculus laboratory in the base, so we'll probably see some jet bikes at some point. I can't remember off the top of my head whether the Seraphins do a lot of damage against a fleet of jet bikes. These guys, they've killed some stuff, I think. Yeah, they've killed a builder by the looks of things. So they're going to fly away. Mandrakes over here. And that's one thing that the Sisters struggle with quite a lot, is that their capping unit at the beginning of the game is a missionary, a singular model, which is quite easy to blast down. Seeing a Reaver jet bike on the way, and this guy can keep up with these ladies. They don't have the jumping ability to go over the rocks and stuff, but, I mean, these guys are just fast. Fast as you like, some would say. Another Reaver jet bike on the way as this strategic point is being built up. They've lost one surfing over there, but they will go on auto-reinforce, 50 blue and 5 green. So the Sisters have got to... How much green money have you got? Right, so they've got no plasma generators at the moment, so they've got to make sure that they keep on their toes. They need to get at least another plasma generator out soon, of which they are building one at the moment. But I like it. They haven't gone straight for the plasma generator because they know that they've got a little bit of green money to play with. But it does mean that it will delay their upgrades of their listening posts, so economy is not going to be on point. Of the sheer amount of Dark Eldar stuff going on in the base, constantly going for those ecclesiarchal servitors. Very nice stuff. Best way to counter the Seraphins, like I say, don't bother with them. Just focus on other stuff. Mandrake's just slicing, well, being sliced down. Slicing down? No, being blunted down. These ladies have got no stabby bits. They're just hitting them with the butt of their pistols. And this Mandrake squad has actually just been sent to its own death. Cast aside, cast asunder, as the Reaver jetbikes go about their wicked and foul business. Trying to see if there's any juicy targets to go for, but all the builders over here behind double Seraphins, so these guys might have to go around the long way, which they won't mind. Quite beefy amounts of Seraphins on the battlefield at the moment. Full squads, at least that's what they're going for. So Hellions, they're kind of hiding around over there. Are we seeing a tier 2 from you at the moment? No, we are not. We are going to see... But we're not seeing anything being built up at the Dark Eldar side. I imagine they are probably thinking about going into tier 2. Once they go into tier 2, they're able to get an upgrade for their Reaver jetpack, which makes their DPS output tremendous. And that will help them crack down on the Seraphins. But until then, they're on builder bashing duty. And one more builder goes down over there. And Sisters are going for their tier 2. Current economies are 68 and 20 compared to 74 and 10, so very close economically. Seraphins have not done much to bash down the Dark Eldar side of things. Same with the Dark Eldar, really, but that's fine by them. They don't need to... Well, I mean, neither side needs to win the early game. They can tech up and get some bigger and badder stuff. Although the Sisters do have a stronger tier 2 than the Dark Eldar, so they might have to keep this harassment on the go. Keep them so that they're unable to purchase their big stuff in tier 2. And then quickly transition over to tier 3, where they can get their witches. Well, I mean, they get their witches in tier 2, but... You know, the Warp Beasts are where it's at, baby. Those guys can just chunk through anything. Oh, look at that. They're repairing the... Ah, I love this. Absolutely love this. They're repairing the Reaver jet bikes. Well done, Nubs. What a guy. Very explosive. I mean, it's just... Yeah. Got nothing else to say over than you see so many players sending their things out to die. And you don't need to do it. You can send them back and repair them. And it saves you money. You know, if that doesn't motivate you to do anything, I don't know what will. This relic is yet to be captured by the Sisters. And over here, the Tower of Loathing will go down. Now that the Seraphins are en masse, they'll be able to chunk their way through buildings fairly quickly. Tier 2 almost finished for the Dark Eldar. They are going to go for some more Reaver jet bikes. And focusing down on the plasma generators, Sisters in tier 2 are quite power hungry. When they go for their Celestians, they're, I mean, Celestians cost a little bit of green money. Also, all their upgrades require green as well. And even the Seraphins, they're on a constant need for because it's only 5 per sister. But it adds up over time. I'm going to go for some crack grenades, so they will be able to bash down the jet bike squads. If they're in small number, I'm going to replace the lost plasma generator with one over there. Hellions are going to fall back as the Inferno pistols are now active on the Seraphim Veteran Superior, which will make life for these Hellions very difficult, as they are infantry. And these Inferno pistols, well, the more focus gets heavy infantry, but they're very accurate. Very accurate on the move are those things. You'll see that Reaver, what's it called? The Reaver targeting module. And now these guys, bonus to their damage output. But with the crack grenades on these Seraphins. Now, will they be able to blast down the jet bikes before the jet bikes are able to unload their payload? Dear oh dear, that. Hellions, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Don't know how much jumping juice they've got left. It doesn't seem like they've got any. So they're just going to die. I like that. Not even going to try and fight back. They're just going to allow death to take them. Seraphins en masse. Like a floating flock of seagulls or something. Got some scared squads over here. Look, oh, that was quick. So they've used all their crack grenades to blast down that Hall of Blood? Is that what you call it? And we need more Reaver jet bikes. We need absolutely more. Angelic Visage been activated on the Seraphins, increasing their overall damage. Both slave pits have gone out, or torture pits, whatever you call them. Ideally, you do not want to engage a squad of Seraphins when all this shiny lights are going on, because they will just melt whatever you're bringing to bear. Got triple Reaver jet bikes coming around the backside, so... Yeah, I mean, they got a good surround on them. Can the Sisters survive? They are going to jump straight over here, ignoring these two Reaver jet bikes over here. I'm going to focus down on the Scourge squad over here, managing to kill both of them. And they are just going to focus on bashing down the economy. The Reaver jet bikes need to act now while the Sisters have got their crack grenades and their Angelic Visage on cooldown. Now is the time to get going with it. I'm going to rebuild that Hall of Blood and get back those slave chambers. Reaver jet bikes are going to decide, no, that's too much hustle for our muscle. We're going to go somewhere else, but losing 2 listing posts over there. Current economies are 62 and 20 compared to 56 and 20. Oh, they've been doing some decapping. That's what they've been doing down here. Got Celestian squad down here looking for a melter gun. So Reaver jet bike's going to avoid them at all costs. So very scrappy this game. Very scrappy indeed. Going to see that Night Shields research and another Reaver jet bike. Night Shields should be able to keep the Reaver jet bikes online for a little bit longer in engagement. But against melter guns, who really knows? Dark Foundry, the next target for the Sisters. They will be working their way down on it. Celestians trying to recapture all the stuff, whereas the Reaver Jetbacks are going to do the exact opposite. They're going to make sure that the sisters are in an economic disadvantage, but they can bash those things as much as they want. Sisters are in the base. Hall of Blood has gone back down again. And if they could take out this Dark Foundry, the Dark Eldar have got nothing to really build units with, apart from more, what they're called, Mandrakes. Mandrakes aren't going to cut it. They're not going to cut it in this engagement. That's why they were kind of like sacrificed just for more squad cap. All Blood trying to be rebuilt. Torture Slave hiding in the corner, hoping that no one will notice him. And Nubz brings out the GG. Heather also does the same. Very, very good game from both players. You can see exactly where their minds were going, and both strategies were totally 100% viable, but sadly the Seraphim count got too high for Nubz to really be able to deal with. If there were less of them, if he was able to get those plasma generators offline earlier and stop them from reinforcing to the number that they had, then I mean, yeah, five Reaver Jetbikes would have been able to take down maybe 2 half-filled squads of Seraphins, but no, numbers were too high, gosh darn it. Okay, let's move on to the second game. Alright then, so we are back on Fata Morga. We've got Alessa as the Sisters of Battle, and we have got eZlNubz as the Dark Eldar. I knew that both games were going to be Dark Eldar versus Sisters. I did not know, however, that both games were going to be on Fata Morga, but then again, it is a good map. And I don't usually watch, when people send games over on the Discord, I don't tend to watch the games as I just know they're going to be good quality. That's another advantage of being able to send them via the Discord, because I know that people say, hey, I know this game is good, I know this game will be castable, so like I say, it saves me a whole bunch of production time, but it seems that I've got the exact same opening on both sides, Pristine Sanctuary and a Depth Astrologers Convent. Very common openings for both the Eldar and the Sisters in this matchup, as we saw that, we saw in the previous game that both strategies were exactly as viable as each other. I felt it was like a really even kind of matchup when you've got both skilled players who know exactly what they're doing. So we'll see this Pristine Sanctuary up, we'll see double Seraphins, and then that bad boy... Oh, we're going to go for triple Seraphins. Never mind, we're going to go balls to the walls all deep in, so we're going to be really careful on losing your plasma generators if you want to reinforce these ladies to the maximum size, but I don't think that's the idea here. I think the idea is keeping those numbers a little bit smaller so they're able to spread out and keep these 3 strategic points decapped at all times. Or maybe even focus on the critical locations. Critical location victory is on, so maybe map control is the idea here. Going to see a singular Hellion squad from eZlNubz on the way. Mandrakes continuing to capture the nearest and dearest and their fairest and farthest, as some would say. First squad of Seraphins are going to be moseying on down over onto this side, jumping straight in, and almost the mirror matchup as before, but oh no. Tower of Loathing already on this, so no decapping for you, young lady. But they will start chasing after Porter, and I just love the running animation for him. It's, oh, what is it? It gives me, you know Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean when he's running away from anything. That's where my mind goes whenever a torch slave is running away from impending death. But another Seraphim is going to come over, and Hellions are going to do exactly the same as they did before. Completely ignore them. Mandrakes still going to have a bit of issue here. Weren't able to capture that strategic point. These guys will attempt to capture this relic, but they will turn around instead and see if they can do any kind of damage whatsoever to these ladies. Give them a good stabber. If they can take out a model or two, that'll be a massive benefit to them. But the Mandrakes are suffering a bit, already losing one model themselves. But first Reaver Jetbike of the match. And to be fair, if the Mandrakes can stay on these ladies, and the Reaver Jetbike fires away, it doesn't matter if the Mandrakes can't hit them. As long as these girls are moving around, when they're moving, they basically fire at the nearest target. So the Reaver Jetbike is free to open fire to its heart's content. So it might be even worth like reinforcing these guys just to keep them on the field. In fact, actually, yeah, they have only got one more squad left, but they are reinforcing them to keep them at 4 members of their squad. Over here, the Hellions having a bit of an argy-bargy. No one's dead, as I can't see any souls knocking around anywhere. Although there is a missionary that they can start pestering. Strategic point will be denied there. The last of the Mandrakes have been taken out, so now the Reaver Jetbike is going to be in a bit of a sticky situation. You need at least 3 of these guys to take on a large, well, maybe a large-ish squad of Seraphins. jet bikes like to work together as a team, as a Dark Eldar are well known for in the lore. We don't have to tell that, but, you know. So what's the economies at the moment? 56 and 10 compared to 50 and 10. So very even economies at the moment. Down to the wire, down to the burn. Every single model counts in this engagement. Considering that, yes, Hellions cost, what, 60 and 15, and he's reinforcing them. So, very expensive units are on the go at the moment. Hellions are able to fire and shoot on the move. Well, I suppose everything is, when they're chasing after things, won't be able to fire backwards though, like Seraphins. Well, the main damage output is in the melee, and not doing particularly well, especially when they're surrounded by 3 squads. I'm now going to see triple, what do you call them, Reaver jet bikes. These guys focusing on the missionary, preventing him from capturing that strategic point, and now they're going to turn their attention to the Seraphins. Seraphins are going to try and chase these Hellions and get squad wipe, but they will not be successful in that. Triple jet bikes now focusing 1 squad at a time. We'll need to pull these ladies back if they want to keep that squad alive. Reaver jet bikes also very healthy at the moment, taking very little damage, as the Hellions are just constantly being an absolute nuisance. 1 Seraphim squad narrowly avoiding a squad wipe there, but we are seeing a 4th Reaver jet bike coming in. Although, oh dear, not quite able to break through the infantry formation there. These guys are going to chase after the ecclesiastical servitors. And how much do these guys cost? I think it's like something like 50, 60, 70, 80 blue money. Can't quite remember off the top of my head. But you don't want to lose your builder units, especially when the economies are this tight. But another missionary is out. His job is to be capping things. And the ecclesiastical servitor is still alive, actually. The Hellions know when a bad job's bad, and they decide to retreat back home where things make sense. Anyone going for their tier 2s at the moment? No, we're going to see more mandrakes over here. And also a homunculus laboratory. Now the Reaver jet bikes are amassing. The more there are, the more damage is done. And they are technically vehicles, so they are resistant to the infantry damage that Seraphins do. Pulling them, yes, look at this, amazing, I love it. Although Seraphins, they don't love it, and they'll be going for it. But narrowly avoiding death, 11 health left on that Reaver jet bike. Another one's trying to... Out of my way, ladies, I've got things to do. People to see, ecclesiastical servitors to murder with glee and spite. Missionary over here almost dying, 9 health left. I'm sure that the Reaver jet bikes will come over and see him dead. There we go. This guy, are you the dead one? Yeah, you need to go back home and get repaired. Get yourself recycled, young man. The Seraphim squads, they're back to full numbers. Haven't gone for their Seraphim veteran superior. We need an ecclesiastical cathedral, which is tier 2, I do believe. And 1 poor Reaver jet bike falling by the wayside. Tier 2 now being on the way for Alessa. We've seen tier 2 for you yet? No, not at the moment. You're going to go for your slave chambers. Another Tower of Loathing. You are capturing all your bits and bobs. At the moment, the sisters only got... I mean, what's this? They're running on 3 strategic points at the moment, which is not terrible. Some maps on Dawn of War give you 3 naturals. So it's not impossible. It's not possible to have a good tier 2 on 3 listening posts. Especially if you upgrade them. With only 10 green money incoming, probably going to save that for some upgrades maybe. I assume the Inferno pistols will work again. Reaver jetbacks just chilling out over here. The repair bay. I don't know, man. They're not going to repair themselves. Strength in numbers as the fleet sails forth, getting ready to get a battle going. At least I assume this is where the battle's going to happen. There we go. Look at this cinematic. Keep on forgetting to do this. But I do like the cinematic kind of approach. I'm going to focus on sisters over here, trying to prevent them from capturing this strategic point, and they will force them away. Double Seraphins on the left-hand side, trying to focus on these Hellions. And they will get the models down. The Hellions keeping themselves alive, and it's really the combination of their nuisance and the Reaver jetbike's damage that is doing all this in. I imagine they've probably gone for their upgrade now. Have they gone for your upgrade? You're not in tier 2, so you won't have got your upgrade yet. Fair enough. But either way, it doesn't matter. Because they're doing damage. They're doing the badness. Angelic Visage on these sisters. Got to get these Reaver Jetbikes out of the situation as soon as possible. It's 3 going down very quickly. One more coming back over here. Do also have the Hellions now capping over yonder. Probably won't be able to hold it. In fact, you're probably doing yourself a disadvantage here, Mr. Nubs, by not bringing Hellions down here and keeping these ladies at bay. But that being said, Angelic Visage has gone down. Now it's time to go back at it. Question mark? No, not feeling all that confident. Not feeling confident at all. Just going to wait for some more Reaver Jetbikes before pushing in. Still on tier 1. And the longer he stays in tier 1... I mean, he's able... I mean, what's your economy? Yeah, so you've got money. So you're able to, you know, spend a lot in getting all these Reaver Jetbikes on the way, but now that sisters are in tier 2, we will be seeing those Celestians out at some point, I imagine. Are you Celestians? You are Celestians. Celestians will murder these Reaver Jetbikes, but they are very immobile. So that is something to keep in mind. We've got 1 squad of Mandrakes, who are in the middle of Sad Town, if the Serafins have anything to say about it. But only 2 squad Serafins. That's 1 squad died. 1 squad must have died in that. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're basically just sticking this on just to deny the economy for these sisters for a little while. But then again, double multi-melters and a regular old melter gun will be able to take these towers of Loathing down quick, sharpish. But that will allow the Hellions now focus on the plasma generators. Economies were being 92 and 30 and 56 and 10. They've only got 1 plasma generator. If they can take out the singular plasma generator, that will prevent them from reinforcing quite a lot of their stuff. So, Sister's very vulnerable economically if the Reaver Jetbikes can get in there. But they're not amazing at damaging buildings. They will be able to get it down on mass, but can they keep that mass going for very long when the Celestians and the Seraphins are just round the corner from it? We are going to go for it. They have seen that it's only 1 plasma generator. So now is the time to strike. Now is the time to get it gone. And they will manage to get it. Sisters are going to go for their Wargear Blessed Armour. So it will make them more resistant to the Reaver Jetbikes. And Celestians, like I say, very strong against this composition, but very slow. So it will take them a while to actually respond to any kind of threat. The moment these ladies come over, well, the Reaver Jetbikes can just run away, can't they? Hit and run tactics at its finest. They're going for a Adeptus Rosa's Convent. Might be wiser to go for the Listening Purse, but then again, in saying that, the economy as low as it is, I imagine Nubs knows that if you take this guy down, then it will take a while for them to be able to accrue the money to rebuild it. So I suppose it depends on what you want. We are also seeing these Mandrakes capturing all the critical locations, so that is another thing that these sisters have to keep in the back of their mind if they want to gain victory here today. Tier 2 just about to finish for eZlNubz, and we are seeing a Hall of Blood being built up as well, so Scourges are probably going to be the answer for the Celestians. Reaver Jetbikes for the Seraphins, Scourges for the Celestians. I think that's how the matchup works, but don't quote me on that. I am not a smart tactical man, I am just a caster. Doing it for the funsies. One Ecclesiarchal Servitor goes down, another one soon to follow. Wonderful coverage on these 2 strategic points down here. And these guys are going to think, well, okay, if we can't capture, we may as well do what you're doing and go inside your base and start messing around with stuff. Very quickly they're able to melt through these towers of Loathing. Losing 1 model, and every model counts in this situation. Celestians haven't yet got any of their anti-vehicle weaponry, so they were chased down, losing a fair few models there. In fact, I want to say a fair few, just about 2. Going to focus on these Listening Posts as well. Keep that sister influence minuscule. First squad of Scourges are out, and they are going for Darkland. They're going for everything. They're going to go for every upgrade possible. Not sure if Dark Lances are necessary at this moment, considering that there's no vehicles on the field, unless there is something special about the Dark Lances that I don't know about. They are good against infantry, but wonderfully mobile. Not nearly as mobile in the walking speed as the Seraphins, but they do have the jumping ability. Homunculus Laboratory soon to be taken down, and the Reaver Jetbikes are coming over to see what they can do, while still keeping the Hellions over here. I mean, the Sisters are basically going for a base trade at the moment. All their eggs in one basket here. So it's do or die for the Dark Eldar at the moment. Angelic Visage once again being spotted on the Seraphins, and anyone nearby him gains that ability as well. So losing lots of Reaver jet bikes in that. What did they have, like about 6 at the beginning of that engagement? Now they've only got 2. But the additional firepower of the Scourges really helping them, and the Reaver jetbikes trying to tank the damage there, but Reaver jetbikes do not tank any kind of damage. Torch Slave goes down. And while this is going on, the Hellions haven't really killed anything. They kind of were a bit indecisive there which way they were going to go. Ecclesiarchal Servitor, double of them, in fact, repairing the Adeptus Sororitas Convent. Single squad of Celestians down on there as well. While Celestians are known for like their anti-vehicle capabilities, without their anti-vehicle stuff, they're quite good against infantry anyway, and heavy infantry, on account of just having their bolters. Scourges really struggling here. We have got the Hellions now back over on this side, over to tie up some of the enemy squads. So when that happens, the Seraphins are going to do exactly the same. Scourges going to reposition away from these ladies. There are 3 squads of Scourges out. At the moment, the Eldar economy is going alright. They've got 92 blue coming in. And the Scourges are 55 and 10, so they've actually got all the green money they need. So they can keep a constant reinforcement on these guys with their income at the moment. And it does seem like they are out sustaining the Sisters here. Sisters not looking like that they're reinforcing at the moment. Can't really afford it. They are looking to get their Seraphim veteran superiors just for those, what they call them, the Inferno pistols. A friendly squad of Celestians going to come and see if they can support, but does seem like a lost battle at the moment. Will need to fall back and think of something outside of the box. Triple Scourges. Nothing to be sniffed at. And they're actually going to come in and see if they can cut these guys off from retreating. Quite brave. Hellions now being wiped out, but the Mandrakes are going to do what they can, distracting them for as long as they can. And the Seraphins using the Angelic Visage once again. And the Scourges, I think they've used all their jumping juice. They've got nowhere to run now. They can't exactly leave the combat at the moment, so a big misplay from Nubz over here. Losing 1 squad, losing 2 squads. Only got 1 squad of Scourges left. Now, Ray must be kicking himself at the moment as he loses 1 model at a time. Very arduous. Also losing the morale as well. And all of a sudden, what seemed like a really strong Dark Eldar position has now turned into a very strong Sisters of Battle position. They're going to regain their Scourges, but they don't have the number, they don't have the momentum anymore. Playing on the back foot, they will stand on top of this ridge and fire down. Tower of Loathing has got its shooty bits, but halfway through research, the escalate engagement research. It's very unfortunate, so they will lose that. It does not look like they got the money back for it neither. Unless they spent it again on other stuff. You spent on more stuff? Oh, he might have spent on Scourges. He says, see, no Soulstorm ability has been used at the moment. Well, not the Soulstorm ability, but abilities that the Dark Eldar have. The Piercing Shriek, I think it's called, the one that basically lowers their enemy's morale, would have been really good in some engagements. Also, Corrosive Acid would have been quite cool, considering that the Seraphins do mass up in quite a large squad. They're all quite close together. But one Scourge squad runs away. They are getting the models. They are killing them. But it's just very close. eZlNubz with the countdown victory. 1 minute and 47 seconds left. So Sisters need to split up, search for clues, give them the old Scooby-Doo and try and decap this stuff. Oh, no, never mind. We've got 1 squad of Seraphins over here. Already on that job. Fair play. But at least force these guys back a little bit, giving the Scourge squads a little time to rebuild their numbers. We're not seeing the Homunculus Laboratory being rebuilt. We're also... Oh, we've now seen the Tower of Loathing over here being rebuilt as well. Big engagement as the Seraphins move forward. Angelic Visage once again being popped. Guy's going to retreat down here. Not sure what these guys are thinking. Need to go back, but sadly weren't able to jump away in time. And every single model in these engagements count. As many as they can, it'll make a massive difference. Plasma generator exploding, at least giving the Scourges a bit of time to retreat here. Now finally going to be harvesting some souls, but Slave Chambers already goes and Torch Slave gets destroyed. More Hellions. Which, I mean, the Hellions worked for them. The Hellions definitely worked for them. The combination of Scourges and Hellions certainly seemed to be doing some stuff earlier on. So maybe that is the play to make here. If anything, just to break this firing line up a little bit. Scourges are definitely struggling. Not nearly as tanky as the Celestians or the Seraphins. And there we go. Nubs. Is that enough? He's like, no. But in saying that, that was a really good game. Like I say, if it wasn't for that jump going over on this side, I think it would have definitely been Nubs' game. Phenomenal stuff from both games and from all three players here today. I just like I like how, like, even though it looked like a little bit grim towards the end, it wasn't like, oh no, I'm going to give up straight away. Holding that line, making sure that he was trying to use and position his Scourges all the way through that final engagement there. And yeah, look at all the dead bodies. Just, I remember to put the high graphics on for once, so like it's just a field of dead. But mind you, the system space relatively clean. So there you go. You can see where the battle was mainly held. Yes, if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you 1 extra game a week. And there is also Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. My name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. And I will see you in a bit. Peace.